Hey everyone, and welcome to Simplified Day 2 Operations on Rancher Prime. My name is Keith Ward. I am with Actual Tech Media, and I am excited to be your moderator for this special event, which is sponsored by Portworx and Suzy and produced by my company. Before we get going into the main event today, I need to cover some important housekeeping items. First off, we want this to be an informative event for you, so we encourage any questions in the questions box in your webinar control panel. For this pre-recorded event, we won't be taking questions, but Portworx and Suzy are eager to hear from you. They'll follow up on any questions that you ask. Now, that Q&A panel is also the place to let us know if something goes wrong, if you can't hear something or see something, or things are not going right for you, whatever way that might be. First thing you want to do is give your browser a quick refresh or two. That usually takes care of the problem. If that doesn't, let us know, and we'll hop on and help you out from there. Second, you're going to find some great resources in the handout section, which is right there next to the questions tab. I'd especially like to call your attention to a link to getting started with Portworx. Check that out now. In the handout section, you're also going to see a link for joining the ATM Decisions Group, which is a panel of IT decision makers that partake in more in-depth events and other opportunities. Also, look in there for a link to the ATM Event Center, which has our calendar of more upcoming events just like this one. Third, one of you is going to end up $250 richer today, courtesy of an Amazon gift card. You do have to be in attendance during this entire event to qualify for the prize. The official terms and conditions of the drawing I'm going to have right at the end can be found in the handout section. Just scroll to the bottom and you will find a link with all of the details. And with that, folks, why don't we get rolling into the main event here today? We are featuring a pre-recorded session by Tara Shaker, Senior Solutions Architect with Suzy, and Vincent Jamois, a Cloud Architect with Portworx. I can't wait to see their presentation. So, folks, let's get into it right now.
The underpinnings of the platform is what really helped. It helped Comcast save millions in operational cost. The system provided the ability to quickly identify issues that are long-running, as well as new issues that popped up. And that really helped to reduce that overall failure rate to under 1%.
Portworx with Pure has allowed us to reduce that, so that's one monthly upgrade on a single instance of the database and the application versus 50 previously. So that was typically about 400 man hours a month to do that upgrade, is now down to 4 hours a month. And it's starting to shrink because we're able to do it even faster.
We started Kubernetes, I think we started in our cloud native journey or transformation way back in 2017. Our Kubernetes journey was always tethered around stateful stuff. State has been an important part. Storage is the key integral part, and I think there's hardly anything we can do in Kubernetes without having storage, and that is what is brought us together. Still a lot of problems to solve, and hoping to actually make it simpler and easier for everybody going forward.
Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for your time today. In today's session, we're going to talk about how can we simplify day 2 operations using Rancher Prime as well as Portworx for your data in your Kubernetes environment. My name is Taher Shakib. I am a Senior Solution Architect at Suzy. With me, we have Vincent. Vincent, if you would like to present yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Taher. So, hi everyone, I'm Vincent Jamois. I'm a cloud-native solution architect working at Portworx by Pure Storage.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Vincent. So in the agenda today, we're going to be talking about SUSE Rancher Prime. And then we're going to talk about what is the added value that Rancher Prime does provide to different teams like IT Ops, DevOps, technical leaders, as well as the security team. Then we're going to be talking a bit about the challenges that every organization face in their Kubernetes environment regarding their data. And then Vincent would be able to help us avoid or overcome these challenges using Portworx in integration with Rancher. And we're going to be talking about what type of day two operations that Portworx would be able to help us do. So starting with the Rancher Prime, Vincent, thank you so much. Good. So Rancher Prime, first of all, Rancher is a Kubernetes management solution. In our Kubernetes environment, we do have one of the biggest challenges is how to maintain your day even 0 and day 1 and day 2 operation on multi-clusters. And nowadays, with the adoption of the multi-cloud, the same challenges exist in the multi-cloud as well. So Rancher does help you to overcome these challenges and provide you one single pane of glass that you can manage multiple clusters, either in your data center on-prem or on the cloud, or even hybrid between on-prem and in the cloud. So Rancher is a Kubernetes management solution, as we have said. So let's start from the bottom-up approach. So what type of infrastructure does your Kubernetes cluster work, and how can Rancher support it? So if you're having your Kubernetes environment running in VMware, on top of VMware, on top of Nutanix, on top of other infrastructures in your on-prem, Rancher does have the capability to integrate with these infrastructures so that it can automate a lot of tasks like provisioning, RBAC, and all of the other things that an IT operation would need. If we're talking about the cloud, like AWS, Google, Azure, still, Rancher is capable to integrate with these cloud infrastructures. And this is why I was saying Rancher is very helpful in order to provide you one single pane of glass managing your Kubernetes cluster, either it's on-prem or in the cloud. So what type of Kubernetes cluster does Rancher support? Obviously, we do have our own Kubernetes distribution, which is going to be RKE and K3S. RKE basically is deployed in the on-prem, in the data center. K3S is designed to be a very lightweight, so it is very, very useful in the edge or a development site. Any CNCF certified Kubernetes is also supported by Rancher. So if you have RKE cluster, another cluster is in K3S, and any other cluster using any other type of Kubernetes distribution that is CNCF certified, then Rancher is going to be capable to provide the same type of lifecycle management to these other clusters as well as the cloud Kubernetes clusters, like Amazon EKS, Azure AKS, Google Cloud GKE. And this is why I was saying Rancher Prime is capable to overcome the issues that we may face with multi-cluster as well as multi-cloud. So from the cloud, we can integrate with VMware, Nutanix, most of the infrastructures that you can have on the on-prem, in the cloud as well. And the Kubernetes distribution, we do have our own RKE, K3S, and we do support most of the cloud Kubernetes and any CNCF certified Kubernetes. From the underlying operating system, we do have our own solution, SUSE Enterprise, but still, we're not going to be locking you to one specific Linux distribution. You can run your Kubernetes cluster on top of multiple other Linux distribution, which is supported by Rancher as well. So this is the infrastructure. So we're going to have multiple clusters, either on-prem or in the cloud. And then these multiple clusters could be 5-10 clusters RKE, 5-10 clusters K3S, 5-10 clusters of any other CNCF certified Kubernetes. And then Rancher would be able to manage all of these clusters and provide you full lifecycle management to your environment. So what does Rancher as a Kubernetes management solution can help me? Well, first of all, from a day zero perspective, it can provide you with an automated provisioning. You can create templates so that you can provide container as a service, Kubernetes cluster as a service. Apologies for that. Rancher also does have the capability for virtual machine and operating system management. It does provide you with GitOps continuous delivery. So there is a lot of features and capabilities that Rancher can help you regarding day zero and even day one as well. For day two, policy enforcements, centralized authentication, GitOps as well, continuous delivery, so that you can continually upgrade and roll out your application that is running on top of Kubernetes using Rancher Manager. And then from a platform services, Rancher does provide you with a lot of features like catalogs, so that the application team or the infrastructure team or the developer team can easily deploy multiple applications that is stored in a Helm chart. Rancher does provide you with monitoring and alerts, dashboards, observability, Istio for service mesh, container images from a SUSE to build images, and also for the security part, which is very, very important. Rancher does provide you with a security solution called New Vector. So this is from one of the solutions that we provide at SUSE along with Rancher. Once you have your environment up and running, then you're running your application on, Rancher would be able to provide you with all of these day two operation capabilities. So let's go and see what are the added value for each team Rancher can provide. Vincent, if we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you so much. So Rancher Prime does add values to different teams. If we're going to be talking about IT ops and DevOps as a start, so from an IT ops, Rancher does provide so many values like multi-cluster Kubernetes operation and management, as we have said. Either it's going to be on the prem, in the cloud, multi-cloud, or hybrid. You can have unified, consistent user access. You can apply consistent compliancy and security policies on different Kubernetes clusters, either on the prem or in the cloud, as we have mentioned. Ease of application and tool deployment, as we have mentioned, Rancher does provide you with Helm charts repository, so you can add them to Rancher, and very, very easy with a couple of clicks, you would be able to deploy your application and tools that you would like in order to maintain your Kubernetes clusters. With Rancher, as I've said, it does provide automated provisioning. You can create templates for your clusters, so it can provide you cluster as a services and namespace as a service, faster provisioning and upgrade, which is going to increase your uptime as well. From a DevOps perspective, so developer would be able to work with the same tools that they already use, because Rancher is very flexible and it does integrate with most, if not all, the developer tools that is available in the market now. Integration with pipeline and Rancher continuous delivery. So you can integrate your pipeline with Rancher continuous delivery to provide a fully automated CI/CD lifecycle. Improved app development and upgrade with Canary blue-green deployment, and that's going to be done from Rancher as well. And Rancher does simplify this activity very, very much. Improved user interaction with reactive auto-scaling, which Rancher does provide as well. Provide automated DNS and load balancing services through Rancher. Improved security with ease using secret management. One of the also good things about Rancher for developers, it does provide you with secret management. So it is going to be much more easier for you to manage your secret across different namespaces or across different clusters. So what other teams that Rancher does add value for? Vincent, if we can go to the second slide, please. Tech leaders and the security, CISO and CSO. So for the tech leaders, because Rancher does simplify everything and it does provide you with an automated provisioning, which is very, very fast and very, very easy. Just to give you an example, if you're using VMware, if you're using Nutanix, if you're using AWS, if you're using Google Cloud or Azure, it is going to be just a couple of clicks and couple of minutes to have an up and running cluster, as well as all the tools that you require that you choose, not a fixed tools. So you have the capability to choose the tools that is going to be configured and installed with the provisioning of the cluster. So with a couple of clicks, you're going to have your cluster up and running, and you're going to have all the tools deployed on it, so you can start using it, which gives you faster time to market. Also, as we have mentioned, Rancher does help the developer to improve their development skills and concentrate on the development tasks that they have, which also increase the faster time to market. Service continuity, very, very lower cost, mitigate risks. There is no vendor lock, as Rancher is open source, ideal for 5G, big data, and AI and machine learning. On the other side, from the security, it does have a very minimal footprint. It integrates with your CI/CD. If we are going to add new vector, it does help you out so much with the security and the integration with the CI/CD to pass or fail any builds. It does provide you zero trust control, minimum resistance from the devs, because if we're going to be talking about new vector along with Rancher, it does provide you with security as code, so you'd be able to implement the shift left concept in your security. Secure from dev to the production, consolidated security platform as well. So going to the next slide, we are going to see some of the concepts that why Rancher is going to be a good an ideal solution for you. So Vincent, if you can move to the next slide, please. Good. If you're going to look at Rancher for GitHub, you're going to find 20K stars for Rancher Prime. We have more than 100 million downloads. Per month, there is more than 35K downloads. Year-over-year growth, we can see a 19%, and this percentage is increasing day by day. We have 15,000 users and organizations using Rancher Prime. We are one of the lead contributors in the CNCF. We have a lot of people trained on Rancher Prime, 10K plus trained users. And up until this moment, there is more than 5.5 million container running on Rancher Prime. So Rancher Prime does provide you a lot of value. It helps so much with the day 2 operations, as well as day 1 and day 0. When we're going to concentrate on data, Vincent, if you go to the next slide, please. We can see that there are some challenges regarding the data every organization meets in their Kubernetes environment. And I would let the expert here talk about these challenges. So Vincent, if you would be able to help us going through these challenges and explain them more and how we can overcome them.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler, and thanks for the description of what Rancher Prime can do for our customers. So the common challenge, obviously you've seen everything about Rancher, but there are still some challenges. For example, we have here 3, but we could have listed more. The low performance at scale. Obviously, the platform teams experience performance issue at enterprise scale. It could be due to inefficient consumption of resources at the control plane level or the worker nodes, limitations due to application architecture, or limitation due to the core concept of Kubernetes itself. And that could result in low density clusters that cannot handle at scale in production workloads. Another example could be application outages and downtime. As organizations move more critical applications into Kubernetes, their data platforms need to be stable enough to support strict SLAs, like high availability. We could talk about business continuity as well, up to 0 RPO, disaster recovery feature. And we have also the operational complexity in a hybrid or multi-cloud world. The lack of interoperability between environments leads to heavily manual, complex operational processes that can add to developer cognitive load. it can also prevent you from keeping the power over your data. We talk about data mobility and so on. So based on that, we could see, and we can see that for organization modernizing their infrastructure at enterprise scale, Portworx by Pure Storage is the easy-to-use data platform to automate, protect, and unify modern apps across any environment, hybrid, multi-cloud. And with Rancher as the container platform, organizations can really unlock the value of Kubernetes at enterprise scale by optimizing performance of Rancher cluster, delivering enterprise-grade business continuity for Rancher workloads, and accelerating developer productivity with a unified storage for Rancher clusters anywhere. So let's go a bit deeper into the Portworx solutions. So Portworx by Pure Storage unlocks the value of Kubernetes data at enterprise scale for Rancher customers. Portworx provides a fully integrated container data management platform to automate, protect, and unify the applications. Portworx works with any underlying storage, on-prem, cloud. We work with Rancher and any Kubernetes distribution and support any application, simplifying developer actions and data management activities. So I won't cover everything on this slide, but with automation, for example, with Rancher as the container platform, you can optimize performance at scale. Portworx consumes minimal resources, so we give away resources for your applications, and also we offer a lot of automation for you to help you manage your application, to help you relieve the load, the overhead on the teams, and so on. We could also talk about protection. Portworx delivers enterprise-grade business continuity for Rancher workloads, and I will get to that a bit later. Portworx ensures data resilience through flexible DR policies, could be synchronous, asynchronous DR. We could talk about backup and restore operation as well. And finally, we have the unified part, I would say. Using Portworx and Rancher together, organizations can maximize developer productivity with a unified storage for Rancher clusters anywhere. Rancher and Portworx enable enterprises to build on hybrid multi-cloud environment, to provide a consistent, centralized management of Kubernetes cluster, no matter where they are located. Self-service storage, access drives developer productivity, reducing wait times, giving developers more time to do what they do best, developing applications. And Rancher Prime and Portworx streamline day two operations for developers, reducing manual tasks. So if we take a step back from all those capabilities, what outcomes does it actually drive for Rancher customer? We can look at these three areas of impact to see these outcomes. The first one, Portworx maximizes developer productivity with a unified storage for Rancher clusters. Portworx helps you optimize performance at scale. These benefits have been experienced by large companies who reduce the time it took to deploy production Kubernetes cluster could be from months max down to 5 days. And Portworx delivers enterprise-grade business continuity for Rancher workload. This, for example, eliminated mission-critical application downtime for an auto manufacturer that measured a minute of downtime in hundreds of K of lost revenue. So now, if we go a bit deeper into some specific features and operation through Portworx. So the first example is how to automate capacity management. So we have a module named Autopilot, which is a rule-based engine that responds to changes from a monitoring source. Autopilot allows you to specify monitoring conditions along with actions it should take when those conditions occur. With Autopilot, your cluster can react dynamically without your intervention to many events, such as, in this case, resizing PVCs when, for example, it's running out of capacity. So, for example, you can filter some namespace, some application, select PVCs. You define a condition. It could be if the storage used is above 80%. And the action is, I want you to scale my PVC, like grow it up till 100%. And Autopilot automatically, and most important, online, transparently for the user and the application, will resize the PVC for customer. Another example is Cloud Drive, because with Autopilot, you can also dynamically react to events like, I want to scale a storage pool to accommodate increasing usage. In this case, we do support the storage backend scaling with specific environments like public cloud, VMware vSphere, and even pure storage flash array. And in this case, Portworx not only is able to scale and to automate the provisioning on the Kubernetes side, so the persistent volumes, but also on the backend side. So your storage backend, for example, with a flash array, Portworx is able to provision new lens automatically and resize them. Another example, this time it's more on the protection side, is with Portworx Backup. Portworx Backup is a Kubernetes backup solution that allows you to backup and restore applications and their data across multiple Rancher clusters. So Portworx Backup rules help you to eliminate manual preparation and lets you minimize the interruptions to your clusters during backup operation. Portworx Backup is compatible with any Kubernetes cluster, including managed and cloud deployment. We do provide namespace and label selector, so you can create granular backup of the application you want. You can back up an entire namespace or just use label selectors to select certain resources to backup. The selection method also helps preserve associated configuration and pod data, ensuring that you can leverage your backup data after restore. This is a comprehensive enterprise-grade protection solution. So obviously we have a ton of features. I won't go over all the features, but obviously you take some backup. It could be manual, or you can obviously create your own backup schedule, your own backup policy. And then you will have the Portworx agnosticity that you can leverage. So you backup one cluster, one Rancher cluster, it could be on public cloud, and then you're able to restore the application on a cluster, on a Rancher cluster on premises. You are free to protect your application everywhere, anywhere, anytime. Another example of protection is for business continuity disaster recovery. Obviously, you will be running production workloads on your Rancher cluster, so you need to protect them. We've seen that we have a backup restore solution with Portworx Backup. We can also enhance the protection level of your application with Portworx DR. So disaster recovery, it's a process that ensures the availability and recoverability of services and resources within a cluster in the event of a disaster. When you implement a DR strategy provided by Portworx, it mitigates data loss or minimize data loss caused by unforeseen incidents that can disrupt your business operations. So the goal is to swiftly restore the operational status of a cluster, enabling access to data as soon as possible after a disaster occurs. You can easily manage the failover, the failback of your application. So failover, migrating an application from your source to a destination in the event of a failure or disruption in the source cluster. Failback, moving the application and its data back to the source cluster. When this source cluster is restored and operational again. All these operations, you have that with Portworx DR. You can also manage two types of disaster recovery. Portworx DR support asynchronous and synchronous replication. So asynchronous, that's replicating data from a source to a destination cluster with a delay between the data changes occurring on the source cluster and their replication to the destination. Synchronous, immediate replication. So both are doable through Portworx DR. Portworx DR, that's the replication power for your application, because you will configure that, you can configure that at the application layer. In my case, if I have an application outage for my namespace 2, I can easily restart this application on the second Rancher cluster anywhere, even if the storage is different, even if it's on a public cloud anywhere in the world, you restore your application very easily. It's quick because everything has been automated by Portworx. You just have to trigger the failover, and then you have your application running on another cluster. So you protect your application to another level. You still have the ownership of your data. You are not tied. You are not locked on a specific environment or specific infrastructure. You can move your data where you want. And that's it for this technical webinar. Thanks to all of you for listening so far. Taher, maybe if you have a few words.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for going through the capabilities of Portworx and how Portworx can help in day 2 operation and with all of these good features that you have mentioned. Thank you all for joining today, and thank you for your time. Hopefully this was very informative for you, and hopefully that you enjoyed the session. Thank you so much, and hopefully we're going to see each other again. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Bye.
All right. So wasn't that great stuff? Man, I know I learned a ton, and I hope you did too. It's so exciting to see what Susie and Portworx are doing out there, how they're innovating and staying on the leading edge of technology. Just such an educational session today. So thanks again to Portworx and to Susie for that. Before we wrap up now, folks, I need to give away that $250 Amazon gift card I told you about at the beginning. As I mentioned then, you do have to be present during the entire event to be eligible to win the gift card. And we do have a winner for today, and that is Adam Powers from Virginia, just a little bit south of me. Congratulations to you, Adam. We will be in touch ASAP to get you your card. And with that, folks, we are just about wrapped now. On behalf of the Actual Tech Media team, I want to again thank Portworx and Susie for making this event possible. Thanks to you attendees, as always, for attending, for being here, for your interest in the topic, and for spending part of your day with us. It's always a pleasure for me to be here with you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. And that closes out this event for today, folks. Have a great rest of your day.